Do we have updated numbers? It was growing exponentially earlier on. I'm just wondering if that's continuing. Well, I know we're live on the web. I see the numbers are climbing, so I'm guessing it's working, but then my phone dies. But that, you know what, it's not about me. It's not about what we can see on the Facebook. It's about where we're going. 1,200 acres. It's in Idyllwild. This fire is growing very, very quickly. A lot of talk, we're trying to get confirmation, but a lot of talk that this was an arson fire and that somebody is actually in custody already. We're trying to get that confirmed. 1,200 acres is burnt. Homes are still threatened. They're talking over 600 structures. Most of those structures are homes in the Idyllwild area, the southwestern part of Idyllwild. Hey, Michelle. I am, let's just say, a little tired today. Not feeling 100%. But thank you, Laura. So if I'm a little less than enthusiastic, it is has nothing to do with what we're looking at. It has everything to do with me. I'm sorry about that. Hey, what's happening, buddy? Awesome. I'll hold the wide. 10 seconds. I'm going to hold this shot for our weather shot. If you guys are local, 9 is the place to watch. But you know, it's one of those ones we're getting closer and closer and closer to this thing. You know, farther away, you can really see the hugeness of this. I'm sorry, I'm listening to what Craig is talking about, so just in case he needs me to move the camera. I'm talking to the Facebookers. Lightning? Yeah. All right, copy. Hopefully we'll have something teasy-ish. All right, so Facebookers, just letting you know that this is not the side where the homes are. We're just trying to get some shots for a tease shot in a little bit. We're still quite a distance away. Fires, homes north side under the smoke. You know what? Maybe we'll be the ones that'll stop the lightning from hitting the ground and starting another fire. I'm talking with my pilot. Anybody that's just joining us on Facebook and doesn't know me is probably you know, appalled right now. But it's just Brendan and I being ourselves. That was the other question that I had actually for our assignment desk. I haven't heard about any structures actually lost yet. The flames have been working their way up towards the town of Idyllwild, the southwestern part of Idyllwild. A lot has burned out here. We were listening earlier on, and it went from, you know, live pictures 45. We're starting to lose this in the smoke. We'll just start with that, and then we'll go wide. No, keep going to Idyllwild, please and thank you. I can see smoke all the way in Ohio. I believe it. Oh, triple digits in the next week? Copy. Copy, thank you. So the folks that are actually watching on the on Facebook, April, that all that laughing is Brennan. He is a very good-natured person unless you ask him to do something. We're actually going to work our way over to this side right here where the homes are. You can see those FOS check lines. You know, that's the thing. I'm always saying FOS check, and then I always do I should just call it flame retard. But you can see that's part of the line that was dropped earlier on. If you guys were watching, we saw the DC-10 do a big drop. It basically did his entire load right there in one movement, one swift move, all done. And it seems to be working. You can see these flames kind of petering out. 90 seconds. Oh, okay. Is it because of poor performance earlier? If that's the reason, I'll try to punch it up a little bit. Yeah. I know. Just a few. That's we're down. That's true. One out, copy. So this is going to be the north side of the fire right now. We're working our way to the north side of the fire, to the southwest part of Idyllwild. You can see that FOS check line right there, really doing great work. I think there's a home actually that got a little bit painted red, which is awesome. This is probably one of the reasons why they were talking about these mandatory evacuations. You can see how close the fire has actually gotten to this part of the community right there. Earlier on, we saw 20 to the pictures. Copy. Let me go a little bit wider. Maybe I should start. We'll see. Copy. Copy. Every now and then we'll see some of these hot spots right there. These are definitely a concern for the firefighters. And if you notice, like now the picture, how we had out of the break, copy. How earlier on we had like really bright and clear shots, and now all of a sudden, all right, cool, tanker. I don't know. See, that's the thing, everybody. A low control room. All right, copy. I don't know where he's going, dude. He looks like he's going underneath us. I don't Yeah, I don't. He's probably just setting up. Let's stay here. And for you guys at home, sorry about that. There's a tanker underneath us, one of the big ones, and we were trying to get some pictures of that. We're going to keep an eye on him. He's probably got to make. Oh, there's a chase plane out my window. So he's probably going to turn around and come and. It'll be perfect. It'll be perfect. What we were talking about is how when the smoke moves, it actually gets super dark out here, and for the camera work, we got to really change things up. And then actually it changes the color also. It turns the sky. Oh, he's going to do a drop right there. Right, it's going to be perfect. Maybe too early. Oh well, it was perfect for us. Everybody on Facebook, this is perfect. People watching television, maybe not. Maybe we can actually see the pilots. Let's stay on that. We'll do that later. There he goes. Oh. That was awesome. See where he dropped it. He is protecting those homes right there that we were looking at. 30 out. Maybe. All right, cool. Actually, there's a really dramatic picture right here. Oh, why did you say that? It's gonna be horrible. Oh, look at that. There you go. That tells a story, doesn't it? Brennan, stay here, please. Copy. All right. Got a house on fire. Yep. Stay here. We got another house on fire. Yep. I'm not talking right now because I'm listening to the live television where they're talking about it, the sheriff's department talking about people that they're taking into custody. I'm going to come back to that. Don't worry. Copy. Coming back to it. Don't worry. Yeah, the smoke is going to start covering up all those homes. No, it's all good. Copy all. Yeah, the smoke's covering it, but Juan, Lena, it is, and we're actually seeing some homes starting to burn out here in the Idyllwild area. And earlier on, the smoke was actually moving away from this area when the winds changed up just a little bit, but we can tell you that that is one home right there that is fully involved in fire, and actually underneath some of that black smoke, that heavy black smoke that you're seeing right there, we see at least two other structures now burning as well. And these are in the southwestern portion of the Idyllwild area. This is the area that's under that mandatory evacuation. We are north of the scene right now, so these flames are still climbing up this hillside towards the Idyllwild area. Now we know that the tankers are up here. During that interview with the sheriffs, the Riverside Sheriff's deputy, we had actually we had two drops of those large aircraft, the DC-10 and the MD-80, both out here reinforcing one of those FOSCHEC lines, those flame retardant lines. They are really trying to do what they can to protect the property and these homes that are out here. There you can see one of the roadways up here. I believe that actually is going to be the 74, and you can see some of that FOSCHEC, that flame retardant, just dumped on some of those cars out there. Now, I don't know if those are voluntary firefighters firefighters. I'm sure those are civilian vehicles, possibly even photographers. But right now, the flames definitely moving northward, actually getting into the town. It is very sad to see any property, especially homes, starting to burn out here. I don't know if this is officially the first home that is burned, but this is definitely the first home that we have seen out here on this roadway. And you can see a lot of, Juan was pointing it out earlier on, a lot of fully grown trees out here, a very peaceful type of quiet community, very foresty out here, and it is very beautiful when the conditions are right. But when there's a fire like this, it is very difficult to keep these homes safe. Right now the smoke is moving, and you can see one of those other homes that we were talking about. There you can see it, another house fully involved in fire. We know that there's another home just a little bit up the hillside there, and the flames were getting very close to that as well. Right now we don't see any of the Forest Service or any of the structure protection that we so often see in these type of situations making their way over here. The resources are spread so thin right now because of the expansion of the fire, meaning the spread rate. This has moved very, very quickly. It was running up the hillsides. Winds are light. There is a little bit of humidity out here, but the terrain and just the extreme heat, and then the fire moving up the hillside, making it very, very difficult for any of the firefighters to battle this. The aerial support, that's what we've been keeping an eye on out here. That's what we can see. Now, these guys, they play an important part, but you know, those guys on the ground, they are doing a lot of back-breaking work as well. And right now, the aerial support, those big DC-10s and other aircraft, fixed-wing aircraft, dropping the Phosgec, the flame retardant, they are really, really hitting this area up here, and this is going to be Idyllwild. We are over Idyllwild, looking down at the southwest corner, and this is the area where those mandatory evacuations were earlier on, and now we can really see why, as these flames really getting close to these homes out here, and we're starting to see some of those homes starting to burn. A very sad situation indeed. Juan, Lena? They definitely are, and right now the smoke, that's one of the things too. The smoke moves around out here. It is a light breeze, and then sometimes like the heavy smoke will move over that fire line. We know where there is that kind of smoke, we know that there's fire under there, and now we're actually seeing some of these homes starting to burn. It is very, very sad indeed. Now, there are resources in the area. Of course, the aerial aspects are probably reporting back to the guys on the ground saying, hey, you know, we are having structures starting to burn. I don't know if they will bring out any type of ground units or the structure protection that we so often see to get up here, the time it's going to take for them to get up to these homes. Hopefully everybody out here has heeded those warnings earlier on and had gotten out of these areas. You can see some of those trucks down there. Those are not residents. Those are going to be some of the firefighters down here. Maybe, hopefully, they are making sure that everybody has evacuated. This would not be, this spot that we're showing you right here would not be the place to be right now to do one of those, I'm going to make a stand, I'm going to try to protect my property. You can see those trees. We see how quickly those flames just engulf those, it just take over those homes. And it is very fast moving, even though it's moving uphill. In this area, it does flatten out. But these homes that are out here are really in these heavy treed areas, and that's going to make it very difficult to protect any of those structures. Right now, this area under mandatory evacuations, this is going to be the southwestern part of Idyllwild. The fire now starting to actually reach a lot of these homes. Gabby, thank you. Yeah, even my little moving map up here is not. It's not moving. It's not. It. Yes, the Sky Map 9000 is not. Is produced by Moto X. Is not filling in the blanks for me. It shows the roads, but I have absolutely no names at all. And actually, you know what? I have to correct it when we come back. That is not the 74. That's going to be the 243. That's definitely the 243. Up there's first structure protection. I saw the first fire truck go through. He's right, obviously behind the tree because I'm shooting it. And it looks like another house might be taken off, one of those ones we saw on that hillside. Yeah, that house is going. Maybe not. Maybe that house is still okay. That house not okay. There's that fire truck. So you guys on the web, you guys can watch with us. There's some of these structure protection moving in. Now, this is one of those things that's probably even difficult for the firefighters. You know, they're getting here on scene. Their job, obviously, to protect property and lives and property. We're assuming that everybody has basically gotten out of here as far as people. These homes, though, they are in a very vulnerable spot. The firefighters arriving here on scene, there's very little that they can do for those homes that are, the term is fully involved in fire, meaning that they are completely burning right now. There's very little that they can do. They're probably going to move along and maybe try to make a stand and try to, on the ground, keep the fire from moving across the street. That sounds almost like a simple test. Copy. Copy. It sounds like maybe a simple task, but it is beyond, it is so not simple. It is probably one of the most difficult things to do, especially if there's a shift in the winds. So right now the fire department probably just making their way through here, double checking, triple checking, making sure everybody is out of this area because you can see how dangerous it is. We're counting structures. These are not official counts, but we can you can count along with us. We see one home right there clearly. Right now, the smoke not covering it, so you can clearly see that one house right there on fire. That looks like a garage, might have a fire near it. That right there, we believe, is probably what's left of a home, so that's two. And then maybe another one inside there, so that's three. And the reason why I say maybe one, there might be two behind those trees. Copy all. Copy. Things like this are very difficult to watch. It's good to see that at least there are some firefighters in the area. And again, what they can do to stop that wall of fire right now, very limited. And you have to just think that these guys, it must be difficult for them to get to these type of situations and then see this. I got to work. Go ahead. Go ahead. No. Oh, We're breaking out the abacus as we speak. We have about an hour and 10 on station. Hour to an hour and 10 on station. Is that praise? Thank you. You know how that goes. If you expect it, not going to happen. If you don't expect it, it'll happen every time. Minute away, copy. I'll shut Mark off if I have to. I would guess so, yes. All right, copy. Ooh, a propane tank going. It's venting. Oh, it's getting hot. You can see the pressure around it. Copy. And when the smoke clears, everything gets a lot cleaner too. We're in the doubler. 10 seconds. Copy. Juan, Lena, we actually know that there are some firefighters down there. They look like they are from Riverside County Fire. The reason why we're really keeping an eye on this particular structure right there is if you see I'm trying to put it in the center of the shot, there's a tank right there. A lot of these homes actually are on compressed propane gas that's in tanks. And that tank right there, you can see some fire coming out of it. That's venting right now. That's what that tank is designed to do. But that being said, that shows you that there's an extreme amount of pressure on there, and this is also a danger that these firefighters have to contend with that are down or in that area close by these homes that are on fire. That tank, maybe if it works properly, it's just going to vent the pressure. We're going to see that flames just kind of keep going right there. If that tank gets too hot, it could explode, and that would be an actual explosion. Firefighters nearby could be injured. These are some of the things that the first responders have to deal with in this type of situation out here. But would almost call this an urban fire type of situation. That house right there completely engulfed in fire. You can see a fire truck right there, right next door. We know that there's another home burning in between all those trees out there. We were watching just as moments ago as the firefighters, these are the first firefighters we've seen out here. There's one of those guys right there pulling a line from the truck. So they are taking a stand, doing what they can. Structure protection, these homes, complete loss. They're not going to try to protect those, but they're trying to try to keep these flames from spreading. Right now, though, this forest fire, 1,200 acres and growing. This right we're looking at southwestern corner portion of the Idyllwild area. This was under mandatory evacuations earlier on this afternoon. As early as 2 o'clock, as I understand it, they started doing mandatory evacuations of over 600 structures out here. And of course, right now we're seeing why. These flames basically have gotten up into the community. We know that there's another home right over here. We also see some firefighter activity. I have to excuse how these pictures are looking right now. A lot of smoke being generated, so the Sky 9 actually pushing through a lot of smoke to get these shots of the fire. And of course, of the first responders out there doing what they can. It must be very frustrating for these guys out here to know what they're up against right now. This fire burning up the hillside. It's very close to another area called Mountain Center. Earlier on, we were talking about a FOS check drop, a flame retardant drop, and I had accidentally or wrongly said that was on the 74. We now know that actually is going to be the 243 is the name of the road that's right there. So they are doing a lot from the air to try to protect this neighborhood up here, and that's what they can do right now, and they are doing the best they can. Aerial drops out here from Cal Fire. They're bringing in the big heavy equipment. We've seen the DC-10, the MD-80 doing drops here very quickly, almost back to back, because Hemet Airport is very close by. But this neighborhood is just in the wrong spot out here, and these trees are very mature, very green, and right now that's going to be part of the biggest problem as the firefight continues out here in the southwest Idyllwild area. Well, once it is pretty much safe to say in this shot right now, yes, that is for sure. Sometimes, though, it is just a different type of brush. There's a chaparral that burns out here, that grows out here, that when it burns is very thick with oils, and those oils will give off that appearance too. So the white smoke, black smoke, a lot of times you can say yes and no, but in this case I can tell you that what we're seeing when we see that black smoke right here in these shots, those definitely are homes. And another way you can kind of tell is the way it's burning. You can see actually a square or something like that, so that's how we know. But you can see right there the flames getting very close to the home. Looks like a car is burning right there in the driveway. And every time I see a car on these properties, I'm always wondering, I'm thinking, oh my gosh, I hope somebody isn't doing I'm going to take a stand and I'm going to try to protect my property, because you can see how quickly these flames just get up onto these homes and then it starts burning, and you know a garden hose isn't going to be able to do anything. You know, the firefighters are down there with their professional equipment. Sometimes those are 2 to 3 inch lines that they're trying to put water in with high pressure. So you know a garden hose is not going to be able to do anything. We're keeping an eye on this spot right here, but I can assure you the firefight definitely continuing all along this 1,200 acres that are burning out here. And again, these are the hot spots. These are the spots that right now the firefighters are sending additional resources to, as they're going to keep an eye on this, and they want to keep all these homes safe. Getting a little bit wider. Lena rightly was talking about it, is you can't really see sometimes how many homes, that this is an actual community out here. They all kind of just blend into the trees, but believe me, this is a community, and they've got to put a stand here, and they're going to try to stop these flames from getting into that community. We did? Nice. Yeah, it's just venting. Must have been full. I wonder if that's Chipmunk Drive. I'm being serious. Chipmunk, yeah. Smoke's getting really thick. Hey, Micah. And 30-second. All right. All right, cool. Yeah, right now the winds have shifted again, and smoke's just kind of filtering over the neighborhood, so it's going to be more and more difficult to see the firefight that's going on down there in that neighborhood. Yes, I am. I'm going to be here till 5 o'clock. All right, copy. Done with you. Copy. Copy. All right, copy on Freak 5. Minute away. Copy. Copy. I'm hunting and poking, trying to find the best stuff. Whoops. All right. Copy. Thank you. Thank you. All right, cowboy. Trying to find better stuff for you, but you're seeing what we're seeing. What? Where? Oh, I don't know. Woo! Some just went up. Yeah. Oh, come on. The smoke's going to be back over this. Oh. I don't. Oh, Jesus. So, I can't hear you. What was that? Well, I'm already slammed. I have nothing left. Look, when I go wide, look at everything's crushed. You guys realize I'm shooting through a lot of smoke. It's all good. Well, we actually, earlier on when we first arrived here, we did see power lines burning off the 74, but that is in a very different part of the area that we were looking at right now. This is going to be the south and western part of Idyllwild. This was the part that was under mandatory evacuations earlier on. And we also were hearing about Nicole saying how the winds are changing out here, and they are. And every now and then, like right now, the winds are changing again, and we can actually see some of these homes and a little bit of that structure protection that's going on down there. There's actually a firefighter down there. You can see that hose line, and he is actually working to keep the flames from spreading to other structures. That actually is a home right there on fire. You can see some of those guys down there working in very difficult conditions and also very dangerous conditions. We saw a propane tank. They have a lot of these homes actually run on compressed gas that's stored in tanks next to these homes. We actually saw one of those burning earlier on. Those have the potential of exploding. And of course, this area, you can see the trees. You can see how dense the trees are around these properties. So these firefighters that are down there right now protecting property, because we are assuming that all the people have evacuated, so they're down there protecting property right now. Very dangerous situation for them. Winds can change. These flames can move up very, very quickly. Obviously, these people are extreme professionals, these firefighters that are down there. Changing it up a little bit, we're going to get a little bit of a wider shot, giving you an idea what this community looks like. We can see a couple of these homes right there by the fire line, but I can assure you pretty much everything that's in this shot right now, a lot of trees, but this is a community. Lots of homes down there. We were talking about 600 homes earlier on. Now they're talking about complete evacuation of the Idyllwild area. Couldn't even imagine what number of homes that is. Right now, though, we have personally seen at least 3 houses burn. Homes, not outbuildings, but actual homes. We watched as the firefighters have made their way in here to try to protect and keep the other homes safe. Now, we are on the north side of this fire looking down to the south. And Brennan, my pilot, is pointing out something out to me. Oh, we're watching these flames are working their way up a hillside here. No homes over here, but you can get an idea of what is burning and how quickly this starts to move once it gets entrenched in these hillsides. These are mature trees. This isn't light brush or heavy or medium brush. These are actual trees. This is an actual forest fire up here, and it will move very, very quickly. What they've been doing to protect the homes, well, it is going to be a difficult firefight for these guys. And when I say these guys, we're talking about CAL FIRE, Riverside Fire, the Forest Service. They're all out here. They have brought out the big guns, as in the fixed wing. We've seen the MD-80, 2 DC-10s dropping flame retardant out here earlier on this afternoon, and they've been basically trying to keep these homes safe. We're going to keep an eye on this part right here, but I'm going to move the camera back to the homes. And again, this is heavy smoke. Sky 2, we're working the best we can to get these shots, but these are extremely smoky, and when the winds change, it just pushes that smoke right over it. Let me just get you one more quick thing. We were talking about what they were doing. You can see that FOS check line in that smoke. We'll clean up the shot. That's the 243 right there. And you can see they've been dropping these lines. They're trying to keep these homes safe. They're doing what they can, but it is a very much uphill battle up here. Live in Sky 2, I'm Stu Mandel. Back to you two in the studio. Oh, yeah. All right, cool. Are we live? What? Lightning? Desk, are you trying to get a hold of us? We're about an hour on station right now, 1 hour on station. You guys make the calls. We're good. We're watching right there. You can actually see some of those large trees backlit by these big flames as they're working their way up the hillside. The portion of the fire that we're showing you right now is actually in some heavy smoke and in an area where there are no homes. But that doesn't mean that there aren't homes nearby. We've watched as these flames have been basically make these runs, and they go up these hillsides very, very quickly. And of course, there is the town of Idyllwild down there in this area as well. The firefighters, my gosh, these guys, the fight that they have this afternoon and what they have to do to try to keep these homes safe is just amazing. We hope, and we're under the impression that everybody has left the area when this mandatory evacuations have come out. We're changing up the shot right there. You can see this is actual Idyllwild itself right there in the shot, and you can see how the smoke basically just kind of starting to cover this area. Every now and then the winds will change up, and we can see what those firefighters are dealing with under and in that smoke right there. This is going to be the 243 to give you guys some sort of reference on where we are. What you're seeing right there, that red, that is from an earlier Phosgec drop. We were watching as the DC-10s and the MD-80s came through here. Those are big aircraft. Some people might be like, well, what does that mean, Stu? Well, those are very, very large aircraft, and they carry a lot of that flame retardant, and they've been making their runs through here, dropping lines, trying to keep this community safe. That's the best thing that they could do to battle or to keep these flames from making their way up into these homes. Has it worked? Well, we've seen a couple of homes burn on the ridge line. These are the ones that are really right up against the edge of the forest. Has it worked its way into the actual community? It has not. We've also watched down on the ground down there, we've watched as structure protection has made their way in. With structure protection meaning firefighters actually driving the fire trucks in there, getting right up to where those homes are burning and deploying hose lines and trying to keep other structures safe. The only thing we can say is if you're under mandatory evacuations, definitely heed those evacuations and leave the Idyllwild area. Copy. Simon Desk, just hearing that if you want us back for top of the 6, we should be leaving now. Five by 5, sir. 5 by 5. And TOC on 2. Nine Hotel TOC on 2. Well, I don't know if we're still on Facebook, but I'm going to take an off-the-wall chance that we might still be live on Facebook right now and just kind of show you guys how this how the flame retardants work. There's some flame retardant right there. There's fire on both sides of that hill, but these homes are saved. Yep. Go ahead. Go ahead. Copy all. So this is what we're, you know, it's difficult to see sometimes through the smoke, and it gives you an idea when we kind of pull out what we're looking at and how we're shooting through that smoke. Sometimes we do sacrifice a little bit picture quality for content. You know, we're shooting through all that thick smoke to show you those homes, but that's what's going on. Was a FOS check line or a flame retardant line dropped there earlier on around those homes. The fire burned on both sides of those homes, but those structures right there, some of those are safe. I'm sure they got a lot of smoke damage, but that kind of gives you an idea of anybody that's really interested in how they fight these fires and how the fire, you know, technology works. That's how it happens. Does it always happen like that? Well, sadly, no. But in this case, those homes were saved, and firefighters from the air dropping that flame retardant really kind of made it happen. Those are the guys that saved those homes. Right there, we're seeing some of that chaparral. That's what we were talking about earlier on. Pat, God, I love Pat. She was mentioning about the chaparral, and then earlier on at the 5 o'clock on Channel 9. Oh, they were talking about, Pat was asking about power lines. There's some of those power lines right there in the shot, a little difficult to see, but there's poles in the smoke. But you can see some of that black smoke. So we're getting a lot. We got a lot right here on this little fire, don't we? You can see the chaparral burning, putting up that really, really thick black smoke. Chaparral has a lot of oils in it, and when those oils burn, that's what you're going to get right there. So that whole theory about white smoke is the fire's out, in black smoke it's not, or black smoke is going to be a structure. That also, it doesn't always ring 100% true. So it's something to keep an eye on, and just gives you guys information when you're watching these fires. Gives you something to think about, or you can impress your friends and say, when they say, "Oh, that's a structure burning right there," you'll be like, "No, buddy. That could be a structure, but most likely it's going to be chaparral." This part of the fire that we're showing you here as we're making our way back to French Valley Airport is actually going to be on the opposite side. So this is going to be on the most southern end of the fire, moving away from Idyllwild and everything in that area, working up another hillside right there. Also, as we're making our way away, you get a beautiful shot of the skid, the bottom part of Sky 2 right now, but our lovely helicopter 29 HD, and also gives you an idea what that 1,200 plus acres looks like. This fire moved very, very quickly. Now we're hearing it's arson, or most likely arson. Is very devastating to hear. And then, of course, those homes that are burning out there. Some people are, wondering what the street names are. I didn't say them on the air because I'm not 100%, and I'm hoping that you guys understand. Not 100%, but I think that's going to be on Chipmunk Drive out there. That's where we actually saw some of those homes burning. Again, thanks for listening and watching and playing along at home. If you guys are local, Channel 2, CBS, is where the place to be. You got Pat and Jeff, the power team as it would be right now. And, of course, we've got Nicole on the ground down there. Am I jealous? Maybe a little bit. But she's... Go ahead. Yeah, let me break out the shoot around the skid lens. Hang on, we got to change it out. I know it's gonna delay us. This is delaying our return to get fuel, but we're still kind of moving. So everybody that watches on the net knows that we feed Fox pictures. So right now they're asking for something, so that's the reason why we're slowing down. And it does give you an idea of the size of this thing. It is ginormous. Is probably the most technical term that I can come up with. I'm gonna play with the picture here real quick, and it shows you those huge white clouds. That's what I think Craig and Garth were talking about earlier on. We actually did have a couple of like we could count the raindrops on our windscreen, and that probably is weather being made by the fire. There is humidity in the air, and then of course all the particulates, meaning dust and smoke, making its way up into the air. It gets a little bit thicker, and then it does turn into raindrops. This is just a huge fire out here. And again, we're hearing 1,200 plus acres, and we know a couple of homes have burned, and now we're hearing that it's was an arson fire. So it's just all kind of bad. We do not have Fox's IFB up today, so I don't know if they're are going to take us where we are. But as soon as we are clear, we would like to return to flying to French Valley for fuel. That thing is, I want to take a picture. I want to take a picture out the window, but my phone fell on the other side of the box again. You see it? Yeah. They don't care about the top of our 6 because they don't have news. Oh. All right. Boom, 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 boom. I was just double checking, making sure I'm not in the doubler. It just gives you an idea how big this thing is. It's like we're not in the doubler, and you can see how huge that thing appears. That smoke plume in the shot. It is just massive. We're working our way over to French Valley. I'm going to, somebody needs to watch the bottom of the helicopter. I'm going to stop talking for a moment here and see if I can find my phone. Not that I can take that pretty picture that I wanted to take because it is behind us now. And we are not going to stop for a picture, for a photo op. And that's when Stu got stuck in the helicopter. All right, found my phone. Hey, somebody texted me. Alex, no. Oh, he's got our flight path. Thank you, Alex. I appreciate that. Ugh. I drove down that dirt road that's underneath us. I know where we are. This is we're near Temecula. We're right by Nikki's Resort. Yeah, it's one of these. It's like right there. I didn't know we were right by French Valley. Yeah, her quilting retreat is over here. And now they're doing painting workshops there too, and all kinds of weird stuff. Yeah. I did not know the things you learn. I should have got wise, because I remember when we left, we wound up on the 74. Yeah, we took the Camaro down that road. Oh yeah, are you kidding me? And she was very unhappy about it. He was not a fan. And I'm guessing that we might still be up on the web. That's going to be Skinner. We found that out earlier on. One of our producers, Jen, was asking me what lake that is, because it looked pretty, and it does when it's not covered in smoke. That is going to be Skinner Lake, or Lake Skinner. And the reason why I say that is it does make a difference, and it's written on my iPad as Skinner. Was it Skinner Lake or Lake Skinner? Let me go read it, because now I'm confused. I forget what I did 10 minutes ago, and now I'm proving it. Yeah, Brendan is commenting right now about how warm it, even with the AC, how warm it's got in the helicopter. And it does. Once we get a little bit closer, it's like, woo! I think Base is asking for a report on, can Brennan get a TOPS report? Ryan is asking for a TOPS. Ryan with an R. I don't know. I don't know that phone number. It just comes up as Ryan. So. Yeah, there's no way. It's like way out there. Oh, it's Ryan. It's Ryan, our buddy, that said, "Hey, can we keep the camera up while we're flying back?" That's who it is. I need to tag you. The pole fire guy. And I'm thinking we might still be live. Going to let you guys know you can follow us on Twitter, Stu_Mundell, Stu_Mundell. Love the comments, love their interaction. If you guys have something to say, I'm always going to read it, and a good chance is that I'm going to respond to you. And then Brennan, my pilot, is going to be Rotorhead 8. You can find him the same way. It's the number 8, Rotorhead number 8, and it's all smashed together. No underscores or anything weird. And, of course, you can find us on all the social media. And, of course, hashtag CBSLA for everything social media and newsy. You can find us everywhere. We're going to be landing at French Valley here shortly. And we'll probably be back up when we get back up. And thanks, you guys, for watching. My thing's just catching up. Paula's saying it's Lake Skinner. Thank you, Claire. Jared, you're too late, brother. I needed a plumber, Jared. I needed a plumber. My parents needed a plumber. This is French Valley. And we'll be landing here in just a moment. I don't know how long they'll keep the shot up. Hopefully all the way to the ground. All the way down.